One pair, bro. Aces, it's just one pair.
We raise pocket aces from under the gun. Big blind calls, and we go to a flop of queen 9-9 rainbow. Big blind checks to us, and we see bet for half pot. Villain check raises. We get that uneasy feeling, but consider our options and make the call. 10 of diamonds on the turn, and villain keeps blasting.
I have a very bad feeling about this.
Villain shoves, but we have pocket aces. Let's get all the money with ace 5 suited in the small blind. UTG raises and we 3-bet. They make the call, and we go to a flop of queen 2-5 rainbow. We see bet for 25%. Villain calls. On this turn card we do a lot of checking, but this time we keep up the aggression and keep betting. Villain puts in a spicy re-raise. We decide to make the call and head to the river. 9 of diamonds on the river. Now we have options. We can go big and ship it all. We can check and hope he bluffs, or go small to induce the spew.
Got you, bitch.
We pick up the snowman from under the gun. We raise, and it folds to the button, who puts in a 3-bet. Small blind and big blind both fold, and the action is back to us. We call. A set. We check to the 3-better. He fires a continuation bet. We raise. Villain takes a moment, then makes the call. We want to have a clean shove on the river, so we value bet accordingly. Queen 8 suited in the big blind. Small blind opens the action, and we call. 7, 8, 7 with 2 clubs on the flop, and villain continues his aggression. We have one option here, and we make the call. Villain fires again. We have to decide between just calling this bet or raising for value. Being in position, we decide to just call. Villain fires again, and we ship it. Are my pocket 10s in the big blind worth all the money? Button open limps, and we raise.
Show me the money.
We flop a boat and decide to continue betting. Button makes the call. 3 if diamonds on the turn, and we continue barreling for value against villain's range.
Show me the money!
Villain check raises, and we push all of the money in. Villain makes the call, and we are in a great spot to get all the money. We decline to run it twice, and it all comes down to one final card. Pocket kings in the small blind. UTG open limps, and we raise. Big blind 3-bets. UTG puts it in, and we have a decision to make. The big blind player is a white whale. We decide shoving looks wild and has the best chance of getting it all in. We were right. Villains show ace, queen off, and ace 7 suited. We flop top set, but this gives villains extra outs. Always a sweat on the turn. Pocket kings in the big blind. We open the action and get called by the small blind. Big blind squeezes, and we 4-bet. Small blind gets out of the way, and we head to a flop against the squeezer. Beautiful. Queen high flop, and villain checks to us. We consider our sizing and value bet. The pot is growing, and villain takes a moment to consider his options. Then calls. 8 of spades on the turn, and action is checked to us. We bet. Ace-king offsuit under the gun. We raise, and hijack calls. Villain in the cutoff 3-bets. Button and small blind fold. Big blind cold calls. Time to put the pressure on. Don't be a nitwit. We open ace queen off in the hijack. Cutoff calls and it folds around to the big blind. Villain thinks over his decision before squeezing to 14 big blinds. We have a decision to make. We can either give up and fold or listen to our gut and fire a 4-bet bluff. Pocket aces in the big blind. The action starts off strong, and we face a raise from under the gun and a 3-bet from the cutoff. The button also calls. We decide that shoving all in looks the weakest. Villain 1 gets out of the way, but the cutoff makes the call. Classic. Kings versus pocket rockets. We agree to run it twice. First run is ours. We 3-bet ace-jack from the button. Cutoff calls. Jack 3-3 on the flop and villain checks to us. We bet half pot. Villain calls again. Queen of diamonds on the turn. Villain checks again. We size down, but continue to value bet. Jack of diamonds on the river. Time to go for more value. We decide to bet half pot. A bit too small for this spot. Pocket aces in the hijack. Villain 3 bets, and we raise. Jack, queen, 3 on the flop. We check back. The turn brings another ace, our money card. We bet big. Quad aces on the river. Time to go for all of it. How to play pocket jacks. Step 1. Isolate the limper. Step 2. Go multi-way to the flop. Step 3. Make sure 2 overcards come on the flop. Step 4. Always check pocket jacks. Step 5. Never raise pocket jacks. Step 7. Never value bet pocket jacks when you river a flush. Step 8. Win. And that is 6-5 suited under the gun. We raise. Villain in the big blind 3 bets. We call. Villain checks to us and we bet. 5 of clubs on the turn. We pick up some showdown value to go with our flush draw. We decide to check to realize our equity. 5 of hearts on the river and villain checks again. Now it's time to go for value. We bet big. King queen offsuit in the big blind. Button raises. Hero 3 bets. Button calls. Hero C bets. Button calls. Hero shoves all in. We pick up pocket kings deep in the money of this poker tournament. We have an 18 big blind stack and raise to 2 big blinds. It folds around to the small blind and they shove all in. We call. If we can hold here, we will almost double our stack and be in a great spot to take this tournament down. We made the final table of this online poker tournament. We pick up pocket 8s on this very short stack and quickly move all in. Villain calls. It's time to leave it up to fate. Classic pair versus overcards. 8 of diamonds on the flop. It's an amazing start, but as you all know, the turn always brings a sweat.
5 players remain in this online poker tournament. We pick up ace 8 offsuit under the gun and we shove all in. Villain calls. The monster stack shows king queen offsuit. We are a 60% favorite to win this hand, and with only 5 players left, this is a huge spot.
3 players stand between us and winning this poker tournament. We pick up pocket 8s under the gun and we raise. Villain calls, and the flop comes, 8-7-6, rainbow. Villain checks to us, and we overbet with this monster hand. Villain considers his options, then shoves all in. We call. If we can hold here, we will be chip leading with only 4 players left. Six of hearts on the river. We take the chip lead, and this is now our tournament to take down.
We shove all in with 6-3 suited on the button. Small blind calls. With only 4 players at the table and being very short stacked, we had to make this move.
This run out will decide our fate in this poker tournament.
Eliminated.